Octo Camo, an advanced camouflage suit inspired by the mimicry ability of the octopus. If the wearer lies still or doesn't move when pressed up against a wall, the suit can imitate the color and texture of the wall and ground surfaces, fooling both the naked eye and infrared sensors. So it was asked a while ago what the deal with Octo Camo is. Why doesn't Snake just use the stealth camo from MGS1? And the reason is because, yes, this has the ability to not only copy the pattern, but the temperature and texture as well. So anything that uses IR sensors will actually be tricked by this and think we're just a wall with a very voluptuous ass. Now, once you leave the wall, you might not like that pattern anymore. How do you get rid of that? Well, my friend, that is where the magic of the 6-axis PlayStation 3 controller comes into play. Because I am now going to shake my controller, and kaboom, the camo is gone. Yes, motion controls to get rid of that. You can see rations are back. They work how they did in MGS 1 and 2. No more foraging for food on site, unfortunately, because that was one of my favorite things. Again, crouch walking's a big deal. You might also notice this. This is the threat ring. It's very similar to the ring in Zone of the Enders. It's sort of a physical, three-dimensional representation of the sound interceptor from Portable Ops. We can see that lump there means that there's something to be aware of. So we're going to crawl. And we can do this. Do you want to do that? It's very slow, but it's very sneaky. If we copy this pattern, you see we're at 85% camo. And if we move like this, oh yeah. Our camo stays at, oops, well, let's move on to this new pattern. There we go, 85%. And you can see it remains 85% when moving like this. If we crawl like normal, it goes down 10%. So it's the best, sneakiest way to move, but it's also among the slowest. Let's get our stun knife out. And let's demonstrate that, look, he holds the stun knife in his left hand, reverse style. He still has a stab. He has a slightly modified combo, so no two knives like MGS3, only one knife. And of course, we can both stab and shock with it. It's got a battery. It's really cool. Gonna just grab that ration. There's an armored personnel carrier. That's something to deal with. You know, you might notice something is this game doesn't have much in terms of music so far. So let's take our iPod registered trademark out. 30 gigabytes, that's pretty big for 2008. And actually, I believe this didn't exist in 2008. Let's play some tunes. How about that? Let's go to our music. Go to songs. Let's play that song we got in the briefing file. I believe it was. Yep. It is this. And so if we play this, you can see it's sung by Tuhan Princess, which is a group composing of Yumi Kikuchi, who is the sexy lady on the poster of the drone from MGS3. She also appears in this game. And the legend herself, Kikuko Inoue, Junanasai, voice of the boss. So that's them singing. Definitely gives an interesting Battlefield ambiance. You're telling me Steve Jobs died knowing about Metal Gear Solid. It's true. It's true. Steve Jobs, he didn't know enough, though. A lot of people think he died of ligma. It was actually fox dye. So here's a sad scene. We can never save this guy. It's very unfortunate. That's scripted to, again, just let us know that this is a sad game. Well, here's the man that just did that to him. And look! CQC is still here. It works pretty similar to 3, but has some extra options. Now, he's knocked out. We could continue to do some stuff to him there. We can actually kill people by choking them out for long enough, but what we're going to do is wake him up. Because we're going to do some hold-ups. You know it. So, in this game, you see, they'll do that animation, but they won't shake their hips for us. No. We have to do something else. We have to frisk dudes. And if we press the button at the right time, we can sometimes get an item. And if we press it there, we can squeeze their nards. And we can knock out people like that. We'll look at some more of the CQC options, but that's one of my favorite things. This is a nice carpet. Let's copy that. And I believe if we go into... No, we can't do it yet. But still, you can see that's a very interesting pattern we've got here. Very fancy. There is a way to save camouflage patterns, so if you really like that carpet, you can make the carpet always match the drapes. That's what that means, right? Lockers, they're still here. We can still hide in them. We can still hide dudes in them. So we're not really missing any mechanics so far, aside from the cure menu and searching for food. Hey, what's that? Can I... How do I... Ah, yes, there we go. More product placement. That's Regain. It's a little energy drink. There's some men here. Gonna be very cautious, because we don't want to arouse any suspicions. You can tell I've done this first part of the game a lot. You can tell I've done this first part of the game a whole lot. I have played this game more than... You could get 10 people in a room, all who have played MGS4, and I have played MGS4 more than those 10 people. Look at this! It's a box. We're gonna pick it up. The cardboard box is indeed back, and it has a couple extra uses in this game. Just a couple. Primarily, it keeps us in shade, which is actually a mechanic. And it can still hide us, but of course, the Octo Camo will definitely outclass it. Let's climb up here. Because... Oh! Well, let's cover that up. And you see, we can get statue camo, which is a pretty good pattern. It makes us look like a statue, makes us blend in with this. Wait, hold on. Let me get this shot again, because it's a pretty good shot. I think it's very funny. He covers his face, so he's, you know, hidden a little bit, which is nice. But yeah, you can just... Oh! Well, let's just move on, shall we? So check this out. Remember how I made a big deal out of how you could roll over gaps ever since MGS2, but the game never requires you to do it, and Portable Ops was the first game to do that? Well, that tradition carried on right here. Can't get up there without rolling onto the gap. Another thing you might notice is snakes hiding on a wall. Animation's a little different now. It works like Portable Ops where you use triangle, but rather than holding, you only tap it. It works really well. Makes peeking around corners, doing pop-out shots a lot easier. I genuinely like it. It is a true cover mechanic, finally. Of course, you could do it from crouching or standing. This wall is a little awkwardly shaped. We'll get more into the gunplay as we continue. I really, really, really love the core gameplay and controls of this game a lot. Let's hide ourselves here. We're in shadow as well. And now let's hold this man up. So, we can now actually shove dudes with assault rifles in our hand. Of course, we can grab them and set them down, set them to the side like we did before. We can also be a little sneakier and crouch. And we can choke them out. But also, how did I... Ah, yes. Oh! Oh. Well, we'll just slam him. I wanted to show, and you know, I still can. Let's play with this boy a little more. We were a little too close to the wall.
Get up. Get up.
We can pat them to wake them up like that. And let me just grab him here a little bit. And do this. This is a very sneaky way to get rid of boys. Do it from behind cover. It's pretty cool. You can only do that in this game, unfortunately. Triangle, even when we're holding a weapon now, just makes you pick dudes up. I believe, yes, you do have to hold it. Oh yeah, you can still shake them like that to get items. We'll just stuff them in the locker. Oh, what's this? So this is the first area that they showed off in the previews. And they showed off Snake doing something like this. And like taking a lot of cover and peeking out. And they really made a big deal in the marketing of this game with the cover mechanics, which, considering Gears of War had come out, Resident Evil 4 had come out, I get it. And again, the shooting mechanics of this game are really good. I think this game has the best gameplay of the series. But man, I was really worried that this was just going to turn into an all-out shooter. Thankfully, that's not the case. I'm going to be still playing this non-lethal. I'm going to be using as many tricks and gadgets as I can. The slam is my favorite thing they added to any of the game's CQC. Yeah. Yeah, I love CQC. I made use of it quite a bit in 3 and Portable Ops, but I am going to be... This game, to me, is where the CQC really, really shines. There is so much you can do with it. There's some dudes right there, and like I said, I could shoot them with this AK, but I'm going non-lethal. So I'm gonna wait until they... Yep, there we go, pass by. And look, we can still enter hanging mode. And we can actually go across curves. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time up there, because I don't want to get spotted. But we've pretty much got every single trick Snake could do in every prior game. and then some. It's really, really cool. This game has a bit of a reputation for being a movie, which I disagree with, because a movie, a long movie, is like 3.5 hours. The ending of this game is an hour and a half long. Like, final button press to the game is over, the credits have rolled, is an hour and a half. That, in and of itself, is the length of feature-length movies, such as the Super Mario Brothers movie. This is not simply a movie. No, this is like a Netflix short series of dumpster. There's dumpsters in the game now. You can also tilt the 6-axis up to peek out of them. And if we had a one-handed weapon, we could fire from here. Dumpsters, the new wave of stealth. But yeah, this is way more than a movie in terms of cutscene length. But also the gameplay, like I said, it might be the best in the series. So I'm going to be squeezing every little ounce of gameplay from this game that I can. Is that the pickles from Deadly Premonition? No. That really looked like the pickles. It would have been really funny to have a dumpster next to the pickles. Like if they were somehow aware of Deadly Premonition. Actually, I don't think that was out yet. I think it would have been another 2 years. Let's go here. Oh, a cutscene. Who would have thought? Suspicions aren't the only things that get aroused when you crawl like the slow advance. Oh, yeah. Everyone loves Snake's ass. Oh, yeah. Let's turn off our camo for the cutscene. This was one of the earliest scenes they showed off in the game. It looked quite different from this in early versions. Snake had a really weird face, and he crouched in a really awkward way where his legs were like way too spread, and he did like a creepy smile.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Snake.
Look, now he's keeping us waiting.
Metal Gear Mark II.
Oh, look at this adorable little robot buddy.
That's
Metal
right.
Gear.
Just like Rex.
Just like it. If I press X there, it shows pictures of Rex, and if you keep pressing it, it'll show some artwork of the Mark II from Snatcher.
It's a remote mobile terminal designed to provide you with operational support.
Look at this adorable little Pixar critter.
I'm in
The animation on the Mark II is
Where
great.
else? I'll be watching you through the Mark II.
Again, we've already technically taken control of this thing.
Hey, I'll be with you in spirit. Anyway, because you had to dress up as a militiaman, I had the Mark II bring you some goodies.
Oh, some goodies.
Starting with this. Put it on your left eye.
Here's another thing that confused a lot of people because we're an old man and we have an eye patch.
Solid eye. It's an all-purpose goggle that displays
But yeah,
radar
the
images
solid
and
eye,
other data.
like you said, it's really cool. It's a neat little gadget.
You
We'll
can
be
also
using it
switch
quite a
over
bit.
to light-amplifying night vision.
It's basically the scope and night vision goggles and the sound interceptor all as one item. It's pretty useful. Plus, it looks cool.
The rebels are out there,
It looks like they've got the government's PMC troops beat, at least in numbers.
and this is their home turf.
Snake, I know this is a sneaking mission, but you'll need to protect yourself.
Here's something even more confusing. Remember how Naked Snake, Big Boss, not only did he get an eye patch, he got a really cool 1911 that he loved that was all customized. Yeah, that's our main handgun in this game. It's a really cool customized 1911 with,
And here's a tranquilizer gun.
you know, non-slip grooves on the trigger and polished to a mirror sheen and all that stuff. We also get
Full.
a tranquilizer rifle. We'll be tranquilizer gun. We'll get the rifle later. But we'll primarily be using that because I like to play non-lethal. Look, it's just like MGS3. He loves it.
You coming?
Of course.
It looks like the screen tearing issue also isn't happening anymore, at least from what I can see. So hopefully I solved that issue.
Start button menu.
Got it.
And look at that! The Mark II, it's got stealth, so it can sneak around.
A little further
So the Mark II is actually always with us.
I've placed a mark on the radar in the upper right corner of the solid eye. It's a war zone out there. Stay on your toes.
So I mentioned this is New Game Plus, and we get all kinds of crazy extra stuff. Where's the crazy extra stuff? Well, you have to rendezvous with the Mark II to get the crazy extra stuff. Yep, kind of just explaining things we already know. So anyway, now, oh boy, now the game begins for real. For one, we've got this cool 3D map. Look at that. It does give you a dotted line to the next area, but you can see this place is huge. We're not going to be going there right away. This ain't no speed run, yo. We're also going to be going to, first off, the camouflage. Because you know how I keep complaining about that mustache? You know how I'm not a fan of that? Well, let's just get rid of that. Yeah, young Snake Face. We're going to be playing pretty much the whole game like this. Because again, a lot of people don't know that exists. And only very recently have I started to see videos about, with renewed interest in the Metal Gear franchise, people going back and playing the game. Only recently have people started revisiting MGS4, primarily on emulated versions of the game, which run at a better frame rate and such. Have they noticed that, yeah, this game has some of the coolest New Game Plus features ever, so I've been seeing a lot of pictures of this snake pop up lately. We can also change the color of our load-bearing vest. We're going to keep khaki for the Middle East because it matches. I don't think it has much of an influence on your camo overall. But we've also got some other things here. For one, there's a costume change. We can get the Middle East disguise. It doesn't have the hood because we have the young Snake Face on. And the Altair costume was mentioned. Yes, I do have that unlocked. Yeah, it's a weird crossover. You can't use any of those blades, unfortunately. And you notice he's just got his, what is that, the index? I don't remember the name of fingers, but his second to last finger is curled in to represent how the assassins had to, cut off their finger. No hidden blade, nothing like that. He does get a special stance with no weapons. You can see he kind of stands like Altair here. We're not going to use it, though. But yeah, you can see the Middle East disguise without the face, without the young face on. He's got the hood. That'll give us a little bit of in with the local militia, but we can still win them over no matter how we look. Camouflage, let's go back to it because we've got auto and manual. So you get a whole bunch of presets here. We get the olive drab preset, as well as the sneaking suit preset. You might notice we've also got tiger stripe. They love the tiger stripe. Obviously, this is a reference to MGS3, and much like MGS3, it's pretty good overall. Woodland, desert, urban, and then we have some download camos. So let me talk about these for a second. There's some download stuff for this game that you can't actually get anymore. It is not just cosmetic. Some of these have special abilities, such as the beauty camo. So, let me see. How does this work? No. Can I bring up the XMB? I can. Okay, good. So, check this out. We're playing the disc version of Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. The reason for that is because I want to show off the download content. We also have the digital version of Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. Why do I have two versions? Why not just play the disc version? Well, I get a disc read error on this particular disc at the very end of the game during a cutscene. You'll see when. So I have to primarily play on the disc to show off all the stuff, but then at the end, switch to the download version so I can actually beat the game. We'll take a look at these camos and what they do. We also have some that I saved to my memory, including the glass camo, which is really cool because it reflects no light. We are a black void. we're going to stick with the sneaking suit. And as for our weapons, check this out. So, let's get rid of all of this. We're going to bring out the Mark II pistol. We've got a whole lot of information. We can spin the model, we can read the lore, we can look at all of these stats. We'll look more in depth at some of these, but just to point out another thing. So we have this here, the operator. The 1911-based 45 silence pistol that Snake was given. That is meant to a bit be a reference to MGS3, but one of the download things you can get is the actual Snake Custom 1911 from Snake Eater. You can only get this, I think nowadays actually, the only way you can get this is like a hacked save file or something. There's no way to get this otherwise. You could go and buy this game a disc version or try and get the PS3 version digitally. You might still be able to buy it, but you can't get these special weapons anymore. Another weapon we're going to be using, since we're playing non-lethal, is this, which you can normally get in the game. It's the Mosin Nagant. Same one that the End used. We're also going to get a smoke grenade. And, oh, don't look at those yet. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. I think I'll go with that for now. All right, hey, let's actually play the video game. How about that? So there's these dudes. You can see P Mantis on them. I'll use my binoculars. Yeah, you can see their health, their stamina. The little blue square there. See, his is sort of reddish. That one's sort of green. That's their mood. That's important. We'll show off why later. But you get all sorts of stats on your enemies in this game. Watch. Oh, look at that. Crazy things flying around and exploding everywhere. And that building, they really, you can completely miss that happening, but they really wanted to show it off. So in like every preview of the game. Oh, my battery is already low. Look at that. That's pretty funny. Every preview of the game, they really wanted to show off that building collapsing, so we'll show it off here. Oh boy, we are in a war zone. There is a lot happening.
The Mark II is more than just a communications tool. It's got a lot of other functions.
It does. And you can also see Snake's got a PlayStation 3 controller. I wonder if his is low on battery. So we can take direct control of the Mark II, which we're going to do. We're going to stealth camouflage ourselves. Oh, we missed him. Oh, come on, get a little closer there. Doesn't have much range, but we can shock dudes. And we can also just grab their weapons here. Let me just grab that. This is another mechanic that most people don't mess around with. I guess just because, I don't know, I guess they just don't know. The boys don't know. We're going to put that away. So yeah, we got really active combat zone sneaking. None of those patrols or anything. We gotta get in there if we want to shoot these men in the butt. So those are all PMCs. They're all kitted out. They're all bad guys. Over here, these dudes with less gear, are they too loud? Also, man, that is very loud. Let's lower this a little bit. Like I said, this game's volume is all over the place. Sorry, but could you help me out? These buddies, they're buddies. Look, we've got buddies. We've got combat buddies. They're not doing too well, though, so we're going to give them a hand. What? Did you see what he was doing there? I've never seen that animation in my life. What was that? What was that? They like us. See, we're impressing them. Now that's a prickly customer right there. That big boy. We're gonna have to take that out if we want to help our buddies. So let's go up this ladder that he saw in the cutscene. Now, like I said, I'm going to do my best to go non-lethal. There's a lot of explosions and weird things that happen. So hopefully everything will be okay. Hopefully. Somewhere over here, there's supposed to be an RPG-7. Let's see. Maybe it's not quite here. Maybe it's on another ledge. But that's okay, because again, this is a new game plus. So I'm going to use an RPG-7 that I just happen to have, brought with me through time paradox. But there is one in this area. And it's meant to destroy this guy, so kaboom. And now hopefully that thing is destroyed. Let's take a look with night vision mode. Yep. It's gone. We also have to tediously reload our RPG-7 now. We can't just quick reload like we could in MGS3. Maybe the RPG-7 was over here. I know there's one in the game very early on. But yeah, even without New Game Plus, you can get some pretty good weapons pretty quickly. So our buddies here are having some difficulty. Let's use a smoke grenade to deal with this guy. We've now got a nice line that shows us where our grenades are going to go. And let's demonstrate this. We can shock him. And look, we can move forward. Our buddies here, see them all? They're coming out. We've actually helped them. We become friends with these dudes. That's really nice because not only does it make it easier to sneak, it also just... There's some other bonuses to it. Whoops. Press the wrong button. Plus, it's just nice to have friends. We're still going to try and, stay in cover, though. And it looks like the only fiend left is this other APC. But we know how to deal with them. Now, if we did this correctly... They love it! They say, we did it, and they start partying, and they have a great time. So now, all of the spoils of war, we can just get them. AK-102, right here. We can just grab that. Now, the items in this game, they're not in spinning boxes. They all have physics, so you can sometimes get funny stuff like this. And another thing you can do, another reason why you might want to make some friends here, is if I take out my rations...
Here.
Don't have to twist my arm. Thanks.
You can share them.
Take it.
And occasionally, they'll give you stuff. He gave me a compress. So now this area is safe. I can just run around and do whatever the hell I want. I have captured the area. Oh. These boys weren't so lucky. That's unfortunate. This thing, it's gone. We can get some tire camo, though. Oh, yes, I have my sneaking suit preset on. Let's go back to auto. There we go. Now I'm a tire. It's pretty cool looking, actually. So this is now completely under control of the militia. It's a friendly area. If I attack them, however,
Here. Hey, I owe you.
they will turn on me.
Take it.
More compress, and they will be an enemy, and I can cause an alert phase. And then you can see he's kind of on a patrol route here. They'll patrol the areas. Each area can be patrolled either by PMCs or militia, depending on who wins. You can never make friends with the PMCs, but you can make friends with the militia. I think they use the same patrol routes, but either way, the best way to play the game is making friends, you know? The real Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots really is the friends we made along the way. Let's also take out, put that away, and get, where is it? Ah, there it is. Magazine. Even though they don't like being attacked, you can just do this. No, let me press it in only a little bit.
What's up with you? Damn it. Hey.
You can just pester your buddies. This line also that shows you how you aim thrown weapons is the best thing in the entire game. Like, legitimately, this is truly a game changer. Because now I can actually tell where I'm throwing stuff.
What's up with you?
Sorry about that, buddy. Here. Here. Hey, no hard feelings.
Here.
Don't have to twist my arm. Thanks. Here, take it.
Oh. He gave us some ammo. Some 12 gauge buckshot. I don't know if there's much else to show in this area, but again, it's nice being able to take over. It's nice knowing that we made a difference. There is another mechanic related to this that we haven't unlocked yet, but depending on who takes over an area, if anyone, that will change something. Again, we've already seen, like, a ton of crazy mechanics that most people are just not aware of when they play this game, because as we saw, when you open up the map, see? That little dotted line, it just wants us to go over here. So we could have ignored all of that, and yes, this is where the RPG-7 is. My mistake. We could have not involved ourselves in any of this combat and just snuck around and gone through there, but then you would have missed the gameplay. It's no wonder people think that this is just a movie when they actively just decide to not interact with the game itself. Let's go in this hole. That's what she said.